In the early days of baseball, when the game was finding its soul, one man stood out, not just for his incredible skill on the mound, but for his unwavering character and courage off the field. Christy Mathewson was more than a pitcher. He was a true hero, a pioneer who helped shape baseball into America's pastime. Christy Mathewson was born on August 12, 1880, in Factoryville, Pennsylvania. His parents were Willie and Mary Mathewson. In high school, Mathewson played at Keystone Academy in Factoryville, Pennsylvania, where he was a multi-sport athlete. He also attended college at Bucknell University, where he served as class president and played on the school's football, basketball, and baseball teams. In 1899, Mathewson signed to play professional baseball with Tots and Herrings of the New England League, where he finished with a record of 2-13. The next season, he moved on to play on the Norfolk Phenoms of the Virginia League. He continued to attend Bucknell during that time. And in July 1900, the New York Giants purchased his contract from Norfolk for $1,500. And between July and September of 1900, Mathewson appeared in 6 games for the Giants. He started one of those games and compiled a 0-3 record. Displeased with his performance, the Giants returned him to Norfolk and demanded their money back. Later that month, the Cincinnati Reds picked up Mathewson off the Norfolk roster. And on December 15, 1900, the Reds quickly traded Mathewson back to the Giants. Christy Mathewson was one of the earliest and most influential superstars in baseball history. Known as the Christian Gentleman, he combined elite pitching with sportsmanship, intellect, and integrity during a time when the game of baseball was still rough around the edges. Christy Mathewson's career in Major League Baseball was with the New York Giants from 1900 to 1916, and briefly with the Cincinnati Reds as a player-manager in 1960. His career stats: he had a win-loss record of 373 and 188 losses, a career earned run average of 2.13. In strikeouts, he had 2,502, and he pitched 435 complete games. He pitched 79 shutouts and pitched over 4,788 innings. Christy Mathewson's career highlights in Major League Baseball were phenomenal. He was a 2-time National League wins leader in 1905 and 1908. He had 30-win seasons 5 times over the course of his career, and he was a World Series champion in 1905 and pitched 3 shutouts in that series, one of the greatest postseason performances in Major League Baseball history. And he was a 2-time ERA leader in 1905 and 1909. You might ask yourself, what made Christy Mathewson so special? His control and strategy of the game. Mathewson was famous for his pinpoint control and his signature pitch, the fadeaway, similar to today's screwball, which baffled hitters. In an era where many players were seen as rough or rowdy, Mathewson stood out as a well-educated, clean living role model. He didn't drink or swear and was a college graduate from Bucknell University. Not only was he a brilliant pitcher, but he also became a player manager near the end of his career, showing leadership on and off the field. In 1916, Christy Mathewson was traded to the Cincinnati Reds, where he played in just one final game and served as the manager. That same year, he enlisted in the U.S. Army during World War I. While training troops in chemical warfare, he was accidentally exposed to mustard gas, which led to the development of tuberculosis. Christy Mathewson never fully recovered and died in 1925 at the age of 45, just a decade after retiring from Major League Baseball. In 1936, Christy Mathewson was honored with one of baseball's highest distinctions, induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. That year marked the very first class of inductees, and Mathewson was one of the only 5 legendary players selected to forever represent the foundation of Major League Baseball. Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, Honus Wagner, and Christy Mathewson all went into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Mathewson received 90.7% of the baseball writers' votes, an overwhelming show of respect from baseball writers of his time, especially notable because he had already passed away more than a decade earlier in 1925. Christy Mathewson wasn't just a great pitcher. He was one of the most influential figures in early baseball. And his impact went well beyond the mound. Mathewson helped elevate the image of baseball, proving it could be the game for gentlemen as well as athletes. In an era when many players were seen as rough and unruly, he was the kind of person parents pointed to with pride. Christy Mathewson wasn't just a Major League Baseball pitcher. He was a pioneer, a war hero, and a man who helped shape the fabric of baseball. On the field, he dominated with precision and grace. Off the field, he led with character and courage. Though his life was cut tragically short, his legacy has endured over a century. And in every game played, in every pitcher who takes the mound with integrity, the spirit of Christy Mathewson lives on. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from baseball's greatest legends.